Hey everyone, Shelf Life back with yet another city update, and we're continuing to make good progress here in our city. I was able to find my city tour bus, so I went ahead and built that and added that to our transportation hub. If you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out on my channel. I continue to do absolutely nothing with my park. I've had some good suggestions that I plan on incorporating in the near future, but if you have any other suggestions, I would love to hear them. Because I got a lot of area to cover with the park. And then today we are going to get back into our mini modulars and build one for right here next to our seafood restaurant. So let's get over to the build desk and see what we're getting into. All right, here we are over at our new build desk, and we will be working on a build today that combines two sets from 2023. Set 31141, the 3-in-1 Main Street, and set 21339 BTS Dynamite. So here we have our 16 by 16 Mills plate, all tiled and ready to go. So this build is mainly going to be based around the Main Street building, but I'm going to blend in elements from the BTS set. So we can start with our base layer of dark bluish gray. We'll just go around the outside with this. All right, a couple more. Right there. And then finally, our last corner right here. And that is our first layer in and completed. All right, so before we keep working on the walls, we're going to go in and put a layer of orange bricks. And this will end up being the shelf for our records. Let me go on the other side. We got a 2x3 here. Another 1x4. Oops. 1x6. And finally a 1x3. And then for the back wall, we have a couple of these 2x4s that will slide in here as well. And there we go. And then we can start working on our walls. So here we have the door to the Main Street set, but I just added one of the BTS stickers to the front here. And then we can put in our front window. So we'll do a couple of these yellow 1x2s with rails. Then we got some of these orange windows. Do a couple there, and then do a couple over here as well. And then we'll go back on with a couple more rails up here. Like so. And I just have them already built out for the other side. I'll go ahead and stick those in here as well. All right, so then for the front pillars, we have these 1x1 rounded tiles that go on the front all the way across. One more. And then each pillar, we start with a 1x1 plate. And then it's one of these 1x1x2 modifieds with these 1x1 slope curve pieces. So, and then the second one here. And then I've got them built out to go across like so. That one here. And then finally over here. And that is the majority of our front facade already put together. So we can move on from there. And since this build, the front is orange and yellow and the rest is going to be white, I'll go ahead and finish the front facade now. So in each of these columns, we're putting a 1x2 here, 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 and here. And then we just need one more plate layer to bring that up to the height of the door. So we'll add some of these 1x1s. I tried to use as many pieces of the pieces that came with that Main Street set. And then we'll go across the front with 1x2 and a 1x4 on each side. All right, so you can see that brings us up to the height of the door. So for this last part, we're just going to go across with a layer of orange plates. And then we can build up the facade that will be very similar to the one that came with the set, but modified for what I have to do. And so we'll start off with a couple of these 1x1 plates over here, and do the same on the other side as well. And then we'll go in. We'll go in with a 1x1 brick and a 1x1 plate. Sorry about that. Same thing on the other side as well. And then we're just going in with these curved slope pieces, like so. And then more of these 1x1x2 modifieds on each side. And then we're just doing 1x3 plate, 1x3 brick, 1x3 plate on each side. And then finally, it would be much more efficient to use one of these 1x2 modifieds, but these came with the set, so we're using 4 of these here. Like so. And then we'll finish it off with a layer of tiles. There we go. And then we can go ahead and put on our signs from the BTS set. Okay, so then finally, just to finish up the front, we can add our BTS stickers, the record and CD, and then the buy-sell trade. And there we have our front facade, and I'll go ahead and start working on the inside walls. It's pretty boring, so I'll go ahead and do that off camera. So I'm going to do the inside walls a little bit differently. I went ahead and constructed them off camera. You'll see it's just a bunch of regular bricks and snot pieces. I'm going to attach it as one big unit because it'll be hard to get my big old hands down in there to put all of our records. So we can go ahead and start decorating the inside walls with all of our records. So we can do here, I just basically have a bunch of those video tiles. I know that's not really a new concept, but just try to take as many of the ones that look like they might actually be like legit albums. And then just added different varying depths along our wall here. And then a couple more higher up on the wall. We got more on the back wall here. I think that one is exclusive to the DJ Robot. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think so. We got more on this other side. It's like Dolly Parton. Here. And then what record store in Legoland wouldn't have the Everything is Awesome album? And then for the back wall, I guess what I envisioned here is a listening station. They used to have them so when you go into a record store, and maybe they still do, that you could try on some headphones and maybe they'd be playing one of the newest CDs or records that was out. And so we're going to use this tile. And then these 1x2 with the studs. I'm really beginning to love those pieces. They're super helpful. And then in each of those holes, we're going to do one of these 1x1 bars. And then we're going to put one of these, I don't know what they're called, also 1x1 with a bar piece on top here. And then do the same thing on the other side, except we're going to add some Fred's headphones here like that. And we'll go ahead and put those in the wall like so. And then we can go ahead and put this entire section in here. And that will be the walls of the interior of our record store. So let's just, between me and you, pretend I didn't put the walls on. I forgot to put in the panel pieces in here. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And these will hold the records in place. I thought I was going to have to do that after I got the records in place, but it's not going to work that way. So we'll go ahead and put these all along the wall. Like so. Like this. And do the same on the other side. And then just for the end, we're going to use just a 1x1 tile here. And then just like in the 3-in-1 set, we're going to put a record player in the front window. So keep with that orange and yellow color combination. And then I just added an actual printed record. Nothing super special there. We'll put him in the front window here. And then for the listening area in the back, just doing a combination of plate and then a tile just to make it look smooth, and then a couple hinge pieces with some More BTS sticker albums here. More albums here. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Like so. And then we can go ahead and put our wall back in place. And there we have all of the records in their holders all over the walls, and that will be the inside of our record store. Actually forgot the most important tile to go in the other front window. A Beatles maybe double album or special box set from those Beatle mosaic sets. Go ahead and slip that in here. And then that'll be showing through the front window. It'll make me stop there. And then we can go ahead and add our tile layer across the top to lock everything in place. And before we go ahead and close it in, we can add a couple of patrons on the inside. So I have this girl who's at the listening station jamming out to something, and I went ahead and put the headphones on her. So we'll put her in here like this. And then I have this young fella here, and he's actually the radio DJ robot polybag from 2014. I think it's set 5002203, and I just took away his robot head and hands and gave him the regular minifigure head and hands, and we'll put him in here perusing records as well. And I think that'll be good for our inside of our store. And we can go ahead and move on to the roof. So super basic roof, just again use the pieces from the set to put together this roof. So we'll go ahead and stick that on, nothing exciting there. And then the only thing that's different really, I didn't put a band on top, at least yet, but I went ahead and added this panel piece from the BTS set. I figured that would be a good name for the store. So, and just with the pieces I had, I'm putting a layer of this bright light yellow in here. And here. And then we'll go ahead and stick this on. And we'll call that one done. So I have these crates of records that I was going to put either somewhere in the store or out front. But I don't know if I have room, so we'll see what it looks like in the city when I actually have like a sidewalk. But if not, if you have some idea of what to do with these, maybe I don't put them in, maybe I do. Open to suggestions. But let's go see what this looks like in the city. All right, here we have the record store in place next to our seafood restaurant. I don't know if this is where it's going to stay, but it is here for now. And I don't have room for these record crates, but maybe once we put this boardwalk in, we'll have some room. And just for now, I stuck in the dilapidated Toys R Us. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. And we'll continue to work on our mini modulars. I still got to get a bunch of the old, actual, legit Lego modulars in place. But those aren't anything too new and exciting. So I think for now, that's going to do it. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's super duper helpful. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.